Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the B&B show. As always, this is Bear and Blade, your two hosts of B&B on the B&B show. And This show so far has been fun. This will be our second episode. I'm glad you're tuning in with us again. Today, so last time we were talking, if y'all haven't seen that episode, go ahead and go back and watch it. But last time we were talking about the future of wrestling for a certain superstar, and that superstar was John Cena. And everybody knows that obviously he's more than, it was confirmed that he's coming back on Monday Night Raw. So we know that was confirmed. And so we know that he's obviously doing something in wrestling no matter what. We just didn't know what that was. Today, we'll be talking about the future of superstar that we don't know if he's going to step in the ring ever again. And that superstar today is none other than Cookie Monster Punk, Chick Magnet Punk, CM Punk. CM Punk, I don't know where to start with this because he's had some problems lately. Well, I'm not going to say lately. It seems that he's always had some problems, but I've also seen that I don't know what's going on. So what I've heard there is obviously everybody knows about the whole scrum, the media scrum. Everybody's seen it. Everybody knows. So I'm not even really going to get into that. Actually, that'll be another episode. So everybody knows he got, suspended. Young Bucks, Omega, they all got in trouble. But the Young Bucks and Omega are back, and they've been back for a while. Punk is not back. So Punk is still under contract though. And what I've heard is lately there's been some stuff where there's been rumors about how Tony Khan and Punk have already been talking and that he's gonna come back because there's been tweets from Jade Cargill, I remember, was a big one. And some other people, they were like, man, CM Punk has always been the best in the locker room. He's always given me advice. He's always helped me with this, helped me with that. So now it seems like everybody's on his side again. So I'm not sure if they're doing that because Tony Khan is telling them, or it's, I'm not sure. But in my personal opinion, I do think Punk will return. And I also do think it is a good idea for AEW to bring him back. I do think CM Punk being back in the AEW, should it happen? Yes. Let me hear your thoughts.
Wow. So with Mr. Punk, let me start this way. CM Punk is Brady Owen's favorite guy. I'll be remiss of not bringing that in. For me, I look at it from a different point of view. I look at it as the Eric Bischoff mindset. Controversy creates cash. And whether you like CM Punk, don't like CM Punk, if he and I'm one of the believers too, by the way, that he is going to show back up in AEW. That is going to bring more notoriety back on the company. No matter what the fight was about and all that, look, we're grown adults. You want to make money at this business. So you have to learn how to put personal feelings aside. It's going to put more eyes on AEW, whether the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega do anything with them, that's on them. But think about how many people would be drawn to it, knowing that there was a ruckus behind the scenes, and then they show up and do something on TV. It's the perfect art imitates life scenario. And with the WWE getting hotter and hotter, what is a better way to bring more of the audience back over to your side than bringing in a notarized guy who is controversial, who generates, no matter where Punk is, he generates fans. Make that no mind that he's a superstar. And
And
why not?
that right there, what you just said, that goes to the point of, so I know that this conversation is very like split, very split, because some people hate Punk, some people love Punk. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, Punk puts asses in seats. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, that's just the way it is. And AEW is not, Tony Khan's not stupid, and it doesn't matter how you could be sitting here right now saying, I hate CM Punk so much. I hate CM Punk, blah, blah, blah. But the second he returns, you're going to go watch that YouTube video or you're going to go watch Dynamite or Rampage. I will put money on it. Look at all that YouTube video of when he returned to not returned, when he debuted in AEW on Rampage. That's still like their most watched YouTube video. That's their most watched Rampage. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's because it's because of one guy, CM Punk, because he's CM Punk. That's who he is. He generates cash. It doesn't matter if you love him or hate him. That whole play, the second his music hits, that whole place could be booing him, throwing trash at him. But I promise you, their views are going to be up like crazy because that's what it is. That's who it is. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's why I think he will return. I like CM Punk. I don't get me wrong. I think he needs to watch himself in the back because I know for a fact he has had problems. I know that. And what he did on the media scrum, that's not good. That's stupid on you, Punk, okay? You shouldn't have done that because you're taking the spot. You're over here trying to take the spotlight away from other great matches that night. Other huge title changes, other huge matches. You were taking away from that light because you're over here crapping all over the VPs and
here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite, Punk. For all the guys you talked about that are not professional in the back, nobody had look. I respect a lot of people. I don't say we're in the wrestling business. We're not journalists. We're fans. So if a journalist had a critique about what I'm doing and how I do things, I'm gonna listen. But do I have to? No. This is the way I choose to do things. But I don't have to be disrespectful. And I don't have to be nasty. Just for and in return, that journalist do not have to be nasty or disrespectful to me. And I'm gonna throw somebody in here because I love him to death. That's just like Jim Cornette. Either you hate Jim Cornette or you love Jim Cornette. And he has his views on things, and that's fine. We all do. But it's the way you approach people and how people take things. So that's just like me sitting here trying to tell you, Blade, hey, Blade, you're not saying the words right. Hey, you got to have some soul when you talk about things or whatever. We have to understand everybody is not going to see things the way we do. Not everybody is going to do things we do. And just because you want to give me advice don't mean I have to take advice. And you shouldn't be upset because I don't want to take your advice. It's just the way people are. And for me, the biggest thing with Punk is for everything you used to talk about older wrestlers before you became that older wrestler, you are giving most people the same crap. Oh, they don't want to listen. They don't want to draw money. You didn't want to listen when they were trying to tell you. You went your own path. So again, calm down and be respectful. If you want respect, give respect. And if people don't want to give you respect, fine. Go on. You don't have to be nasty or fall into their energy. Just let it go. And I think a lot of people too take this too serious. Just like I have to do what you do. No, I don't. This is this is our platform. We decide how we want to put it. They may like, hey, you know what, guys? I don't like the way you're doing it. It's too much like the other show. No disrespect, but this is what we choose to do. If we choose to change it, fine. If you don't like it, hey, guess what you got? This button that calls off.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with Punk and all of this. But with all that being said, Punk is coming back. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but he draws controversy. And I personally, I'm up and down with Punk. He's I still think he's good. I think he sells. I think sometimes though he got to know his limitation. And our body sometimes won't go as our mind wants us to. So might have to think about that.
Now, so we're in agreement though that Punk will more than likely, we think Punk will come back. So here, let me ask you this though. If he comes back, I mean, they have a couple options for he could be in the back, you know. I mean, he couldn't even be a ring guy. They may make him some dude works in the back, you know. But if he comes back in the ring, which I hope they do, who does he fight? What's his next? Well, I mean, what's his next? You know, what do they put him in? What storyline? Is he a heel? Is he a face? What do they do? Does he go after the belt? Is he just there to be there? Or?
For me, if I was doing the booking, the two matches that I would have him go, the first one right off the bat, MJF. You've got to capitalize off of that.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that.
And you could have him a face, you can do him heel, you can have her a tweener. Either way is fine. And the money, the money is him and Kenny Omega. Come on. I mean, if they do not put their differences aside and make that money, they could be printing money. And you don't have to have a big one. And here's the kicker to it. It doesn't matter who wins or lose. The program, just the setup,
Yeah,
would bring
that
money.
would be if just imagine that on a title main event, Kenny Omega versus CM Punk. That right there is a that match alone. It's a huge, 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 huge money draw. That match alone is a sellout. Um, that would be insane. It's like you said, they just need to put the difference aside. Wrestlers have done this before. I believe it was Paul Heyman. I may be wrong about this, but I believe Paul Heyman back in the old ECW day. I may be wrong about this, but if two wrestlers had problems, he'd put them in the room. He'd move the furniture, put them in the room, and he said, "Y'all can either work this out, talk it out, and then both of y'all walk out of here. Differences are done, or you can, beat the hell out of each other. But whoever wins, the person who loses is fired." that's that's what he would say. And I'm pretty sure the stories go every single time both of them would walk out unharmed. They put but it's like stuff like that. I mean, people have, it's been draws before. Look at Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Or look at Edge and Hardy.
Man.
I mean, those aren't just. I mean, those are really
real life. Real life.
Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett is definitely the biggest one because of the extent of it. And look, I give a lot of credit to Kurt Angle because look, if I was Jeff Jarrett, I'd be scared as hell because anytime in that match, if you tick off Kurt Angle, dude, he could put you in a lock and you're not getting out of that lock. Especially for what happened. So I mean,
that just shows you how much trust Jeff Jarrett had for Angle being a professional.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, guys. A lot of this we forget. that this is professional and it's a business. If you can't handle business, then you're gonna just kill yourself where nobody wants to work with you. You're gonna become a pariah in the business. Nobody wants that. You want to be a champion. You want to make money. You want to become famous. Even for wrestlers who don't they get into it for the love. You don't want to have that reputation. And so exactly, hopefully, and again, I'm not a big CM Punk guy. There's a lot of things I loved he did, some things wasn't that great, but I do respect his passion. But sometimes we have to rein in our passion.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, I like I said, in my opinion, I think CM Punk will return. I don't know if that'll happen. There's been, he's had little, he was the commentator on that MMA little fighting for a minute, and then I believe was he at Battle of the? I think he was at Battle.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he
And
was there.
did you see the tweet that Kenta
Oh,
did
he
out?
said he said, "I'm so glad you're here to see a real go to sleep," or something like that. Yeah, I saw that. So CM Punk obviously is still into the wrestling business. We just don't know how, we don't know what. Um, the only future will tell. But if you think CM Punk will return, comment below. If you don't, comment below. If you hate CM Punk, comment below. If you like CM Punk, comment below. Just give us your opinions about Punk, because I know there's a lot of them. I know a lot of people have different opinions with Punk. He's probably the most controversial wrestler right now, in the sense of, hate him, love him. Should he come back? Should he stay? You know, he's he's a one of a kind in many different ways. So,
Exactly.
but thank you so much for joining us. Go watch our first episode about John Cena's future and wrestling, and also go watch our next episode. Stay tuned for that, because that will be coming out soon. Thank you
Oh
so much.
yeah. Oh, you can't leave them like that. You got to remember, guys, like, subscribe, and just hey, this is the B&B show. It's your show. Give us that. Give us some comments, and we will do better. We promise.
And this is wrestling.